Student of class 12 science, listen to me carefully. Myself DB sir. Today I provide you some problems on electric potential and capacitance. Among which some problems today I discuss in my video class, and the rest problem you see at your home. If you face any problem, you can contact with me. Now see the first problem. A parallel plate capacitor is charged by a battery which is then disconnected. A dielectric slab is then inserted to fill the space between the plates. Explain the changes, if any, that occur in the value of number 1 charge on the plate, number 2 electric field between the plate, number 3 potential difference between the plate, number 4 capacitance, and number 5 energy stored in the capacitor. Now the situation is that after disconnecting the battery from the capacitor, a dielectric slab is introduced between the two plates of the parallel plate capacitor. Then you have to say how this 5 factor will change. Okay, now see the solution. Let Q naught, C naught, V naught, E naught and U naught be the charge, capacitance, potential, electric field and energy stored by the capacitor before introducing the dielectric slab. Therefore, according to the relation, we can write initial charge Q naught equals C naught V naught, initial electric field E naught equal V naught by D, initial energy U naught equal half C naught V naught square. Now see the first factor. What about the charge? Now, as the battery disconnected before introducing the dielectric slab, the charge on the plate of the capacitor remain constant. So therefore, charge on the plate of the capacitor remain Q naught. Now see the second factor. Whenever we introduce a dielectric slab between the two plates of the capacitor, due to the induction of charge, an electric field is developed within the dielectric in a direction opposite to the direction of original electric field. So therefore, electric field between the two plates of the capacitor reduced, and the new electric field becomes E equal E naught by K. E equal E naught by K. Now see the third factor. As the electric field reduces, the potential difference is also decreases. Let V be the new potential difference between the two plates. Therefore, V equal E into D. What is the value of E? E is E naught by K. And E naught into D, E naught into D is the initial potential V naught. So therefore, V equal V naught by K. So this is the expression for new potential difference between the two plates of the capacitor. Now next one, as the potential difference decreases, the capacitance of the capacitor will increase. Let the new capacitance of the capacitor is C. So therefore C equal Q naught by V equal Q naught by V. What is the value of V? V naught by K. So therefore K into Q naught by C naught. Okay, now Q naught by C naught is the initial capacitance C naught. So therefore new capacitance C equal K into C naught. So therefore we can say the capacitance of the capacitor after introducing the dielectric slab increased by K times, where K is the dielectric constant of the slab. And lastly, what about the energy stored by the capacitor? As the capacitance and potential difference between the two plates will change, therefore the energy stored by the capacitor is also changed. Let the new energy Bu is equal half CV square. What is the value of C? Kc naught. What is the value of V? V naught by K. So therefore V square means V naught square by K square. 1K from here is cancelled each other. So therefore half C naught V naught square by K, and half C naught V naught square is the initial energy stored by the capacitor, that is U naught. So therefore new energy becomes U naught by K. Clear? So now students, see all these 5 factors changes. This is very important for your exam purpose. Now see the next question. The electric potential as a function of distance x is shown in the figure. Construct a graph for the electric field strength E. Here the graph is given potential versus distance. Okay, now from the graph we can say that from the region, for the region 0 to 1, the slope of the graph is positive. For the region 1 to 2, the slope of the graph is 0. For the region 2 to 3, the slope of the graph is negative. Now here potential versus distance graph is given to us. We have to determine the graph for electric field versus distance, for which one relation is required, and the relation is the relation between electric field and potential, and the relation is given by E equal minus dV by dx, where dV by dx is known as the slope of slope of Vx graph. Okay, now see the value of electric field in these 3 different regions. Now for the region 0 to 1, dV by dx is negative and constant, okay, as the graph is a straight line. So therefore electric field is negative over here with a constant magnitude. Now for the region 1 to 2, dV by dx is 0, so the electric field is also 0. And for the region 2 to 3, dV by dx is negative with constant magnitude, so the electric field is positive with constant magnitude. Now if we plot a graph between E and X, the graph look like this. From 0 to 1, electric field is negative with constant magnitude. From 1 to 2, the electric field is 0, and from 2 to 3, the electric field is positive with constant magnitude. Clear? Now see the next problem. A parallel plate capacitor consists of 3 dielectrics as shown in the figure. So this is one dielectric, this is another dielectric, this is another dielectric. It has plate area 1 centimeter square and the plate separation D equal 2 millimeter. If K1 equal 4, K2 equal 6, K3 equal 2, find the capacitance of this arrangement between the point A and B. Okay, so for this type of arrangement you have to determine the equivalent capacitance of this arrangement between the point A and B. Now for this type of arrangement you just remember the capacitor C2 and C3 are connected in series. Therefore equivalent capacitance of the capacitor C2 and C3 is given by 1 by C dash equal 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3, where C2 value is given over here, C3 value is given over here. Now by putting the value of C2 and C3, by putting the value of C2 and C3 in this equation, we get the equivalent capacitance C dash as 3 epsilon naught A K2 K3 by 2D within bracket K3 plus 2K2, K3 plus 2K2. Now the series combination of C2 and C3 are in parallelly connected with the capacitor C1. So therefore equivalent capacitance of the combination of C2 and C3 and C1 is given by C equal C dash plus C1. The value of C dash you put from here, and C1 is given by epsilon naught K1A by 2D. Now by proper calculations we get C equal epsilon naught A by 2D within bracket in the numerator 3k2 k3 plus k3 k1 plus 2k2 k1, and in the denominator k3 plus 2k2. Now by putting the values of all factors over here, epsilon naught, a, d, k1, k2 and k3, we get the equivalent capacitance of this arrangement as 14.54 into 10 to the power minus 13 farad. Now student, one thing of this type of problem you have to remember, if this arrangement is rotated like that, means the point A moves to here and the point B moves to there. So for that type of movement, you remember C2 and C3 are connected in parallel, and that parallel combination are connected in series with C1. You remember it. This is very important concept. Now next problem. C. A 600 picofarad capacitor is charged by a 200 volt supply. It is then disconnected from the supply and connected to another uncharged 600 picofarad capacitor. How much energy is lost in this process? Now, the capacitance of first capacitor C1 equals 600 picofarad, which is charged by a battery of potential V1 equal 200 volt. The second capacitor having a capacitance of C2 equals 600 picofarad, and the initial potential of the second capacitor is 0. Now whenever these two capacitors are connected with each other, both the capacitor attain a common potential, which is given by V equal C1 V1 plus C2 V2 by C1 plus C2. By putting the value of C1, C2, V1 and V2, we get the common potential V equal 100 volt. Now in this process, you have to calculate the energy lost. Now before connection the two capacitor, the initial energy stored only by the capacitor 1. So therefore energy stored by the capacitor 1, which is known as the initial energy, Ui equal half C1 V1 square. By putting the value of C1 and V1, we get the initial energy Ui equal 12 into 10 to the power minus 6 joule. Clear? Now after connecting the two capacitor, the final energy is the energy stored by the combination of capacitor. So therefore final energy UF equal half C1 plus C2 into V square, where V is the common potential. Now by putting the value of C1, C2 and V, we get the final energy UF equals 6 into 10 to the power minus 6 joule. So therefore energy lost in this process is equal initial energy minus final energy. So therefore energy lost answer is 6 into 10 to the power minus 6 joule. Now next problem. a cube of side B has a charge Q at each of its vertices. Determine the potential and electric field due to this charge array at the center of cube. To determine the electric field at the center of cube, first we have to determine the distance of the center from every vertices of the cube, for which the length of the longest diagonal of the cube is required. Okay, so therefore length of the longest diagonal of the cube is given by root over of b square plus b square plus b square equal root 3b, where b is the side length of the cube. Now the distance of the center from every vertices is the half of this length of the longest diagonal. So therefore r equal root 3 by 2 into b. Okay, so now during the calculation of potential, you have to remember potential is a scalar quantity. That's why the net potential at the center of the cube is equal to the sum of the potential created by all the charges present at 8 vertices of the cube. That's why the net potential is given by V equal 8 into Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R, where Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R is the potential due to a single charge. By putting the value of R from here, we get the answer of potential as 4Q by root 3 pi epsilon naught B. But whenever you want to calculate the electric field at the center of cube, you just see the net electric field at the center of cube is 0. Why 0? If you consider a pair of opposite corner charges, for this pair of charges, the electric field at the center having equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. Therefore, they cancels each other. So that's why the total electric field at the center of the cube is 0. Okay, now see the next question, which is also very important. Two charges minus q and plus q are located at point 0, 0, minus a and 0, 0, a respectively. Means both the charge situated on z axis. Okay, what is the electrostatic potential at point 0, 0, z and x, y, 0? Means on these 2 points we have to determine the potential due to this pair of charges. Now see the solution. See the diagram very carefully. We consider the two charges plus q and minus q are located on the z axis. Okay, now to determine the potential at the point 0, 0, z, first we consider this point are situated near the positive charge. So therefore see the diagram. The 0, 0, z situated near the positive charge. To determine the potential at point P, you have to know the distance from plus q charge and the distance from minus q charge also. The distance from plus q charge is z minus a, as O2P is z and O2 plus q charge is a. So therefore plus q to p is z minus a, minus q to p is z plus a. So therefore the potential at the point P in this type of arrangement is given by V equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught within bracket q by distance. Distance means z minus a. For minus q charge, minus q by distance. Distance is z plus a. Now by proper calculation, we get the expression for potential as V equal P by 4 pi epsilon naught within bracket z square minus a square, where P equal q into 2a, known as the dipole moment of this dipole consisting of the charges minus q and plus q. So there is another possibility over here. Instead of the point P located near the plus charge, it may locate near the minus charge also. Then the potential at that point is given by V equal minus P by 4 pi epsilon naught z square minus a square. Clear? Now, if the point is x, y, 0, then what is the potential at that particular point? Now for the point x, y, 0, you have to remember one thing. The point is situated in the xy plane, which is perpendicular bisector of z axis. Means the distance of this point from the plus q charge and from the minus q charge are same. So therefore the potential created by these two charges having the same magnitude but nature is opposite. For the plus q charge potential is positive, for the minus q charge the potential is negative. So therefore net potential at the point x, y, 0 is 0. Now see the second question. Obtain the dependence of potential on the distance r of a point from the origin where r by a very greater than a. Clear? So now in this question you have to determine the potential at a distance r from the origin. So now according to our previous calculation, in the similar way we can derive the expression for potential at a distance r from the origin, which is given by V equal plus minus P by 4 pi epsilon naught within bracket r square minus a square. But according to this question, r is very greater than a. So therefore, we can neglect a square with respect to r square. So therefore, the expression for potential becomes v equal plus minus p by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. So therefore, the potential depends on the distance r as 1 by r square type. 1 by r square type. Now see the last part of this question. How much work is done in moving a small test charge from point 5, 0, 0 to minus 7, 0, 0 along the x-axis? Does the answer changes if the path of test charge between the same point is not along the x-axis? Now see the answer. 5, 0, 0 and minus 7, 0, 0 are the point on the x-axis. Okay, both the points are situated on the x-axis, which is the perpendicular bisector of the dipole. Perpendicular bisector of the dipole. Therefore, distance of the both point from the both charge of the dipole are same. That's why the potential at the point 5, 0, 0 and at the point minus 7, 0, 0 are 0. So therefore, according to the definition of work done, W equal charge into potential difference. As the potential difference is 0, so therefore work done is also 0. Now, if we move this test charge between these 2 points, not along x-axis, but via another path, the work done remains 0, because electric field is conservative field, and over the conservative field for the movement of charge between the same point is independent of path. So that's why whatever may be the path between these 2 points for the movement of small test charge, the work done must remain 0. Now see the last questions. A parallel plate capacitor is to be designed with a voltage rating 1 kilovolt using a material of dielectric constant 3 and dielectric strength about 10 to the power 7 volt per meter. For safety, we would like the field never to exceed say 10% of the dielectric strength. What minimum area of the plate is required to have a capacitance of 50 picofarad? Now see the solution. Maximum permissible voltage 10 to the power 3 volt, maximum permissible electric field 10% of 10 to the power 7 volt per meter, that is 10 to the power 6 volt per meter. So minimum separation required between the two plate D equal V by E. By putting the value of V and E, we get 10 to the power minus 3 meter. Now capacitance of parallel plate capacitor is with a dielectric slab is given by C equal K epsilon naught A by D or A equal CD by K epsilon naught. By putting the value of C, D, K and epsilon naught, we get the area of the plate as 18.8 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. 4 meter square. Now student, again I say, see all the problems which I provide you in PDF format also. If you face any problem, you can contact with me. Thank you.